Very good afternoon, guys. Today we are going to talk about flowchart. So, yes, we are going to talk how we are going to create the flowchart and what is the purpose of a flowchart. And it's a video about step-by-step approach to create a flowchart, and it's going to give you the process of creating a flowchart and the purpose of a flowchart. So, a flowchart is nothing but it is defined as a diagrammatic tutorial approach algorithm. So, what is going to be a task? Which is nothing but a problem which is given, which is in need of a solution. We are going to derive an algorithm for that. For that, we are going to have a diagrammatical approach or a pictorial approach to define the problem, define the solution for it. Okay, it may be a problem or a task, whatever it may be. Okay, so which is nothing but a flowchart is nothing but a combination of boxes and symbols which represents the operation, and arrows which represents the sequence of an operation which are implemented. So by using the symbol we can able to understand what are all the uh, steps we are going to do for completing a task, and then different boxes are going to get connected with the help of arrows. By the arrows we can able to go for a decision that in which direction we are going to select a particular path. And the primary purpose of a flowchart is to help the programmer for the understanding the logic of it. So that is the purpose of a flowchart. And we are having some standards to we need to maintain the standards to create a very good flowchart. Flowchart should be clear, neat, and easy to follow. And we have to use a proper tool or proper methods to do the flowchart. And we are having some online tools, and we can even draw flowchart manually and all. So we have to list the steps in a particular order. So we need to have a start and stop, and there should be a only one line come from a process symbol, and we have to follow the standard symbols by using just we are having some standard symbols such as oval, which is used for start and the end of a process, rectangle, which is going to represent the process in an uh, logic or a solution, diamond, which is nothing but used for a decision, arrow, which is used for a flow of uh, direction of a process, or where we are going to which in which we are going to select the option and all. And we are having a parallelogram which is used for input and output from the user and to the user. So these are all the shapes we are going to use majorly used in chart. As I told you, we are using the first symbol which is going to be used for start and stop. So by using this, we can able to identify which is where the flowchart is started and where it is ended. And for processing, we are going to use the rectangle. And for decision, we are going to use the diamond. For getting input and for displaying the output, we are going to use uh, this parallelogram. And we are going to use the flow lines, which is nothing but directions of a flow. It may be an upward and a downward arrow, and it should be the direction should be followed in left and right. So these are all the symbols we are going to use it in our flow chart. And we are having a connector symbol which is used for connecting the flow charts in two different pages, or which may be extended up to the next page. And this is nothing but this is also an off page connector or a link symbol which is used to connect the flowchart across the multiple pages. It will be usually represented by using the page number. So this is an example of flowchart. So as I told you, we need to have a start and stop. and we need to use the proper symbols, and we need to uh, have a proper flow of direction by using the arrows. So here this flow chart is going to talk about largest of two numbers. So as I told you, we need to have a start and a stop of a flow chart, and we are going to read the number from the user. So read number A and read number B. So this is a decision symbol. So if A is greater than B, if the answer is yes, it needs to go in this direction. This is nothing but a arrow symbol, and then we need to print the value of A. If it is A is not greater than B, means the output is no, in the sense it needs to flow towards the print B. And here we are using parallelogram for printing the output, and finally we are going to end the flowchart. So this is the flowchart part, finding the largest of two numbers. If I'm having a requirement for finding the largest of three numbers, as usual we are having start and stop symbol. We have to read the value for A, we have to read the value for B, and we have to read the value for C. It should get the value from the users. For that we are using the parallelogram to get the input from the user, and then we are going to use the diamond symbol for taking the decision. If A is greater than B, if it is yes, we need to check whether the A is greater than C. Again, it is true, in the sense we need to print the A. So it should be it should get connected by using the arrows. So if A is not greater than B, means the value is no, in the sense we need to check whether it is B is greater than C or not. Means already it is greater than B. Sorry, it is greater than B is greater than A. So we need to check whether it is greater than C or not. If it is yes, we need to print this B. If we are getting the value no, in the sense we need to print the C. In this part, if A is not greater than C, in the sense we need to print C. So we are having a three parallelograms which is going to print A, B or C. So whatever the decision it may be, we need to print the values, and then we are going to end the flowchart. By using the flow lines, we are running towards the next step of a flowchart. And we are getting the value for we already draw a flowchart for finding the greatest of two numbers and finding the greatest of three numbers. If we are having an option for finding the greatest of n numbers in the sense, what will be the flowchart for it? So as usual, we are having start and stop. We are getting the input for n, which is nothing but a number, and we are having we are taking the count as 10. So we are going to get the 10 values from the user, and we are going to check whether which one is minimum. So here we are going to find the smallest of n numbers. We already seen greatest of two numbers, three numbers, and we are going to see the smallest of n numbers. So in a variable minimum, we are assigning the first value, and we are having a count 1. If we are checking whether the count is less than 10, yes, in the sense we need to get the value for number n, and we need to check whether n is lesser than minimum or not. If it is minimum, then we need to assign the value of minimum variable with the value of n, and then we are incrementing the count by 1. If it is not, means if n is minimum than the given value, we are going to assign the value. If it is not the minimum value, this already assigned value is going to remain. So as usual, we are going to increase the count, and we are going to check whether the given we are going to check the count is greater than 2 or 10 or not. If it is lesser than 10, we are going to get the value for n, and we are going to check whether the n is less than minimum or not. If it is minimum, we are going to reassign the value of minimum and we are going to increase the count. If it is not minimum, as usual, we are going to increase the count and we are going to get the value for n, and again it will run up to the 10 statements. Means a looping is going to work over here. Once it reaches the 10, it is going to produce the output minimum and we are going to end the flowchart. So this is about your finding the smallest of n numbers. If it is a flowchart which is going to sum of n numbers, means I just want to add the numbers between the two ranges. In the sense, if I am having a requirement, just I want to add the numbers between 1 to 100, or it may be 1 to 1000, or 20 to 50, whatever it may be. So if I want to add all these numbers, in the sense, just I need to get the two ranges from the user and we need to read the value of n. We are assigning the value of sum of 0 because a Cartesian product cannot get into the sum variable, and we are assigning the value of I as 1 if I is lesser than or equal to n. In the sense, if it is yes, in the sense, we are adding the value of I with the sum, means sum equal to sum plus I, and then we are incrementing the value of I. Again it is going to getting into the loop and it is going to check whether it is I is lesser than or equal to n. If it is not, means if I is less than n, in the sense, we are going to add the value of I with the sum and we are going to increment the value of I. So it will run up to the condition get closed, means if I is greater than the value of n, going to print the value of sum and we are stop. So this is nothing but if I want to add n number of values, we are going to use this flowchart. So the main purpose of flowchart is just it is going to give you the pictorial representation and it will of your problem with the solution, and it is going to be used by programmers for clear understanding and all. So if you have any queries, let me know. Else, thank you.